Right, hello again, it's me. Just as a quick word before I start on tonight's review, I thought I'd better let you know there's going to be postscripts. Right then, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, welcome one and all. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knickknack. I am the brains behind Knickknack's Daily Teaser, which is a set of fun daily brain teaser quizzes. I'm also a man who writes up the occasional movie review. I really should sit down with something. I've got a couple of interesting ones lined up on various wish lists and sitting in various collections. I'm also somebody who talks about TV shows I've watched. Last Tuesday I saw the first episode of Stranger Things Series 4, and I've been reviewing that, and I'm going to be watching the rest of it and do reviews as and when I do. Tuesdays, keep an eye open. I also, last Friday, managed to catch the first episode of Star Trek Picard Series 2. That first episode was called The Stargazer. Yes, I was very impressed with it. And yes, yesterday, on Friday the 1st of July, I watched episode 2 of the series, and I wanted to tell you about it. And I have to admit, I'm impressed. Episode 2, Penance, opens with a summary of last week's episode, and then shifts to zoom in on a very different Earth, showing us Admiral Picard, Patrick Stewart, in the midst of a confrontation with Q, John Delancey, in a Chateau Picard the Admiral really doesn't recognise anymore. Much to his discomfort, the chateau, or this chateau, is one that includes a trophy room with the decapitated skulls of his enemies. A much disturbed Picard demands Q tell him what on Earth, or in this Earth, is going on, only for Q to tell him a thing or three. The reality is in where his General Picard is a penance, not a lesson. He's going to need to ask forgiveness from someone in order to start working on correcting the timeline, and that finally, doing that job, he's going to have help. After the title sequence, we see Picard watching a video of his alternative self, finding out that his other self prefers black coffee instead of the Earl Grey he usually takes, and is slightly to the right of Adolf Hitler. He also finds out more about this universe. The Federation has been replaced by the Confederation of Earth. He finds that his housekeeper, Laris, has been killed in a Romulan uprising. And he also finds out that he's due to give a speech at this year's Eradication Day, alongside Confederate President Annika Hansen, a president who, unknown to Picard right at the moment, has also been replaced by her real-world universe self, Seven of Nine. Unknown to either of them, the President's Eradication Day speech is going to have a really, really big finish. General Picard will be executing the Borg Queen. Now, what on earth did I make of this lot? I have to admit, I'm usually not one for a thriller. Not because I don't enjoy them, but just because I don't see as many of them as maybe I could. And that's even being very aware that Frederick Forsyth and John le Carré were and are masters of the genre, and that thrillers themselves can be riveting stuff. I saw the film version of Edge of Darkness a few years ago, so I have seen some. The reason I mention this is because I think Penance is exactly that. It's an extremely well-placed, time-travelling, Q-infested thriller with John Delancey at a very menacing, face-slapping best. It also comes with 7 scheming husbands. It's got chases, thugs, slaves, and a Borg Queen played by Annie Wershing, that is something I found reminiscent of Hannibal Lecter, and as nasty as the Queen ever was. Frankly, I'm going to be watching episode 2 of Stranger Things, Vecna's Curse, on Tuesday the 5th of July. just in case you wanted to keep an eye out there. And I'm going to be watching episode 3 of Star Trek Picard, called Assimilation, next Friday, and I'll be posting my written and video reviews on Saturday the 9th of July. I would love it if you joined me. I hope you've enjoyed both this review and the episode itself. It was really good stuff. I'll see you next Friday. Live long and prosper. Right, just as a first initial footnote, the trophy room caught my eye. More specifically, Sarek's skull caught my eye, as did its colour. It's a sort of distinct shade of pale green. In the Star Trek universe, I don't know if you knew this, I don't know if you're following the franchise, but in the Star Trek universe, the Vulcans, the best known Star Trek aliens, the ones with the pointy ears, their blood is green, as the Vulcan equivalent of human hemoglobin, what gives our blood that red colour, their equivalent to hemoglobin is green. It's based, if I've understood the background correctly, it's supposed to be based on copper rather than iron, which is what human blood is supposed to be based on. It's I know it sounds trivial, but it's a nice bit of detailing. It's very, excuse the word, it's very logical bit of world building. Right, just as a second postscript, oh boy, this is getting strange. Just as a second postscript, did you ever see or remember seeing Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs? No? Yes? It's worth a watch, I think. We get a huge build-up in the film to his introduction. We get Jodie Foster's boss describing him quite literally as the psychiatrist Dr. Lecter, and then seeing her say, "Oh, Hannibal the cannibal." We get the chief of the hospital where the character's incarcerated saying, "Oh, he's a monster." Can't do the accent, but there you go. So we get Clarice Starling, Jodie Foster characters going down this long corridor full of gibbering loons. So we assume that he's at the end of the corridor and he is the worst thing there. What we actually get, and what is more terrifying, certainly to me, was simply that Hannibal Lecter, the Hannibal the cannibal, is this very inoffensive looking chap that's standing on his feet waiting for his guest and quite politely says, "Good morning," and has a very, 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 very polite smile. The Queen, Alison Werschling, the actress playing the Queen, is wearing exactly that same type of very polite, restrained smile when she's staring at Dr. Jurati. Bloody unnerving, isn't it?